What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah, and things just keep developing with our studio here at work. It's just so exciting to me. Still don't have the sound treatment on the walls, still a little echoey, but we're working on that. We got this back rim painted. It looks so dope. We're gonna get some sound treatment all over it. Our lights are in, our cameras are coming in, we have a slider, this is so beautiful. Got a ton of stuff ahead of me for the day, gotta jump into it, but I thought I'd pull over, do a video. God has just been encouraging me so much out of Luke chapter 15. It's the story of the prodigal son, but more so, I think it's the father who is the prodigal. That in me, check this out, if it's in you, okay, but I've always thought of the word prodigal as bad. The prodigal son is definitely the one you don't want to be. So prodigal is bad. Not true. Prodigal just means exceeding in measure. So obviously easy to see how the son did that. He was excessive in measure in how he spent his inheritance. But the one in the story who's most prodigal is the father, because he gave his inheritance. He split it between his two sons. His son left, his younger son left, wasted it all, lost it, came back, and the father gave him more. That's exceeding a measure, hardcore. So spending time with that passage with our prodigal father has been so encouraging, because in the center of the story is a value of celebration. In this year, again, weigh this for yourself, but it's in me. It's very tempting to call 2020 the worst year ever. Back at the beginning, before things started going downhill, God gave me a sense of what 2020 was going to be. And it was going to be a year of hindsight for my life. And things that have taunted me from the shadows that I haven't been able to see clearly, that have plagued me, that I would see them clearly and that would be resolved. Likewise, in areas of deep desire and dreams, that all of those things that have just been swirling and growing into this huge mass all over the table with it's just connected everywhere, pins and strings, very much so beautiful, mindish counting cards. I might need medication, but all of that was going to come together in this year. Hindsight is in 2020, year of understanding and favor. This is my year. Made that declaration, and then all of a sudden, things just started coming apart, which I think verifies and supports what God is doing in 2020. The year of 2020 is a year of God's divine favor and blessing. This is a year of abundance, and the things that God is accomplishing and is yet to accomplish in the rest of this year are going to have effects for generations to come. What's coming against that is that death, darkness, destruction, the devil, any other dastardly D word that you want to dump into that situation, is coming against what God is doing and attempting to distract and detract from what we have before us. That's where Luke 15 comes in very integrally. Within the center of that story is manifest our Father's character of grace in celebration. I made a video a number of weeks ago, I'll post it up above, but that celebration is the manifestation of our Father's character of grace. In that situation, there was nothing that was meritorious of its own right that should be celebrated. A younger son went off, squandered the family's inheritance, disgraced his father in the community, just stepped in it, and came back to the father. The older son dishonors his father by staying out in the field, condemning and criticizing what his father was doing, divorcing himself from relationship with the son, saying, "This son of yours that returns, he ain't no brother of mine." Father corrected him. "When? No, this brother of yours has returned." That the father is reconciling all things, the surrounding community and his sons with one another in his house. He's inviting reconciliation through celebration. That the father says to the younger son, "Quick, we have to celebrate." He goes out to his older son and says, "Son, we must celebrate." That in the midst of all of this chaos, the younger son's shame, battling with shame and guilt, that he had sinned against heaven and against his father. He'd broken vertical relationship with heaven, and he'd broken horizontal relationship with man, his father, his community, his older brother. That was where he was at. Older brother judgment, condemnation, criticism, not coming in, that's all broken. The surrounding community that says, oh, no, we have perspective on it all. We're not siding with the younger brother. We're not siding with the older brother. We're being very balanced in our decisions. We're being very just and discerning. We're looking at it, and we know the real story, but we're not going into the celebration either. But in the midst of all of that swirling hurricane of storm of this is a bad situation, you stay down there. The Father maintained the eye of the storm in celebration. Quick, we must celebrate. And those whose hearts were given in obedience to the Father went at once to do what he said, establishing an environment of celebration. Celebration is the environment of reconciliation's establishment. I pray that you have ears to hear. My question to you is, what are you celebrating in 2020? What of 2020? What about this epic in time are you celebrating? Our Father is in the eye of the storm and is establishing an environment of celebration in his house. Everything that we dumped on the floor, the surrounding hurricane, all of the yammering, all of the brokenness, all of the mess, all of the encrusted pig crap and condemnation and criticism and sickness and community yammerings and theories and all of the crap swirling is off the table. And what we're discussing is the eye of the Father. Is your eye good? Do you see with the eye of our Father? That he looks at all of it. He saw it from his house, from his place of ruling. He saw all of it. And he said, my response to all of this is we must celebrate. It is my command. And those servants whose hearts were given to him, if you love me, you will obey me, went at once, and they began to celebrate. But the children of the house came close and asked servants to tell them what was happening in the Father's house. The angels of heaven who peer over the shoulders of the sons of man to peer into the things of God should not have more insight into what is happening in the Father's house than do sons. What are you celebrating in 2020? I realize I'm calling you to an action of faith. All the things are, they're going through my head, my heart too. What is there to celebrate, Elijah? I'm asking myself the same question. It's there, it's oppressing me. So I'm with you in this. Is celebration on your lips? Are your feet dancing to thunderous dubstep with our Father? Is your heart ready, filled with joy to celebrate in our Father's presence? Or are you standing outside the door because of shame and broken relationship vertically, horizontally with man? Are you outside of the party in condemnation, saying, there's nothing to celebrate and you're wrong, Father? Are you in the surrounding community that's backed off of it all and you're being very discerning and weighing in on all of it with a very balanced opinion? Where are you at? Where we want to be, declaration, admonition. Where we want to be is in the Father's house, celebrating his character of grace. Celebration is the environment of reconciliation's release. If there's things that are broken in 2020 and darkness is warring against what God has established to happen in this year, the place where it's going to be reconciled to our Father is in celebration. If you subscribe to what I am doing, you know, hit the button. Hit it and then get it. Hit the bell as well so you get notified with the new content. And if you love this video, you didn't just like it, hit the thumbs down button. I pray blessings on you guys' days. I love you lots. And I will see you in the next video.